as far as I understand. And then you haven't disappeared this time, but you're a yoga instructor now. And
that's right.
That's
right. One of the things I learned when I was in Southeast Asia.
The world has disappeared.
Well, you were quarantining before everyone, so.
Yeah. It really wasn't that bad. It was just like fucking annoyances on the fucking internet. But that's all.
Yeah. What? I mean, Kaplan was saying that earlier. He's like, he had a jump on us on the quarantine situation. You did go private on some.
I went private just because of all the death threats to other people. So they were using my wall to let's say I don't know. Let's say you were my friend or something, or my brother. They would put a post up and be like, hey, here's Turner Sparks. That's his brother. Here's his home address and his phone number. Go fuck with him.
I mean, that's insane.
That's it. Totally. And honestly, even the people that were like casually upset with me, I think they would be like, oh, no, guys, don't do that. It's kind of like the Muslims who are upset about like Charlie Hebdo. And they're like, shouldn't write cartoons like that. And they're like, oh, we killed them all. And they'd be like, oh, no.
That's a little far.
That's a little much.
Yeah. And at that point, then all those Muslims had the options of either going, listen, I'm still mad. Those guys went too far, but I'm still mad. Or go, well, my anger over this cartoon is really meaningless now because they just killed a bunch of people. So I'm not going to
even the Walton family was like, all right, settle down, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I just had to go private for that. Otherwise, I don't mind the fucking abuse, death threats to myself. I've been getting death threats for so many years, so I don't care at all. It's just to the other people that were using my wall to congregate. So I was like, I'll just go private for a month.
I almost got exploded, I think. At New York Comedy Club, I had a show. You can tell me if this is true or not, but I had a show that got canceled.
It's not. I already know it's not. But
it's not? Okay, I had a show that got canceled like last minute, which has never happened to me before or since at New York Comedy Club. And I had no idea what was going on or why. I was on my way to the club, and I was like 15 minutes before I got there. They texted, and they're like, oh, show's off tonight. And the club's pretty popular. It would have been odd. But then I found out a few days later that people were calling in bomb threats.
Somebody's like, I'm standing with a gun. And by the way, this happens all the time. I'll tell you, I haven't told anybody this, but I created a website for, after getting all these threats, any venue I did, it was a bunch of people going like, I'll pull that place up, expect violence tonight. There's going to be protests outside. The Stand, listen, this isn't the first time The Stand has dealt with this for me. About 4 or 5 years ago, The Amazing Racist, all those videos were found by some radio DJ in Charlotte. And he was like, can you believe this guy? He thought it was new instead of fucking 15 years old. And he was going nuts and got all these people to call. Anyway, eventually they were getting harassed. The owner just got on the phone, like, hey, whoever's answering phones, you're off. And he goes, yeah, then come down and do something. He would just answer the phone. Then come down and do something. You know, it's like, I was like, well, I'll be waiting for you. Anyway, they were like, we're never going to ban a comic for making jokes, which The Stand is the wrong people to come to. They were just the next venue I had on my dates. So that's who all these people went to. And not a single person showed up. Nobody even came. No one heckled. It was just never happened.
Oh, they had the show.
Yeah, so they're used to it. This was 4 or 5 years ago. So now the Stand was like, come on down, Ari. They're calling us saying they're going to be violent, but they're not. And I stood outside for fucking 30 minutes. Like, if anyone wanted to shoot me, I'm right here alone talking to my friend on the phone. It's not an issue. The Stand knows that, and he would send me pictures, Italia, of like, oh, here are the big protests. Send me a picture of just an empty sidewalk. Anyway, other clubs aren't as used to us. So the New York Comedy Club, they got a call saying, I'm sitting with a fucking machine gun outside on the block. Okay, so side note, since all this stuff started going, I created a website for a fake comedy club in Toledo, Ohio. Yeah, it was a club that had existed about 5 years earlier, closed down, and we found it was like, all right, let's just use that, Laughs Inc. And we made this website, and it was so we had the email address. We just pretty much mocked their entire old website, put some of their performers and then some fake, just like public domain images, and called it like Jack Smith playing whatever. Duncan Trussell I put on there, Nick Youssef I put on there is like coming, you know, and then I put myself on and just waited for the emails to come in because we made a fake phone number, Google phone number from the area code of Toledo. They weren't going to check on any of the links, like buy tickets, because no one's looking to buy tickets, right? They're just looking to protest. And some of the protests, this was some of the emails we got, will go, I have been a customer. I have come once a month at least for the last 3 years, which is like, it's a club that closed down 5 years ago.
Right, such a form.
Like, and I will never come again because you're having Ari Shaffir.
It's a form letter.
Expect violence, all that stuff. But that one was my favorite ones because it was like, this is what club owners deal with. People they think are customers that are living in Florida who are never going to come, never going to remember when they do come. They actually might come to your venue 3 years later because they forgot they were that mad. So we were getting messages saying, I have been a loyal customer and I will stop coming to a fake. Anyway, so New York Comedy Club. Go ahead, Kaplan.
You should be able to get a small business loan then, because your club has been forced to close.
You're right. You
have evidence he's got customers.
PPP.
You are correct.
You should, let's fill that out when we get off the air.
You don't want to fire employees of the Chuckle Hut in Toledo.
Laughs Inc. Yeah.
Laughs Inc.
Yeah.